Yeah, so I would highlight four of the buy-side initiatives. We've had a long-standing execution venue working group, and last year that group focused on the expansion and clarity of the capacity tag, and specifically on differences between EMEA and the United States. The group also expanded its participation to the sell-side firms and more globally. This year that group is focused on looking further at the existing three tags and how MiFID and other initiatives come into play. Another group has been the post-trade working group. We've had a long-standing post-trade working group there. We started with equities, but last year that group has submitted a series of recommended practices to the Global Technical Committee focused beyond equities. So we now have foreign exchange, equity swaps, equity options, swap execution facilities, and those are being published by the FIX organization shortly. In this year, the group is focused on fixed income and intermediaries. And then the last two groups, we have a group that's been focused on risk mitigation symbology. So this is really on exchanges establishing test symbols so that firms could send in orders in test environments that aren't real to be able to verify the plumbing, if you will. And last year, both the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and the TSX published test symbols. And then we also have a group that's focused on buy-side regulatory and compliance, and they have a subgroup that's focused on forensic testing. Well, I think the key driver has been risk. It's really about reducing risk. If you look at the IPO process, that is, for most firms, the largest single orders they would ever transmit off of a desk, and it's a highly manual process. So we were interested in being able to reduce the risk of misinterpretation by the receiver or errors in transmission. And the other thing that's unique about the IPO process is that those orders are communicated to an array of sell-side firms that are part of the syndicate, and everybody needs to know the right information. So we were able to look at how to make that process more efficient, and it became very natural for buy-side firms to want to just extend and leverage the existing FIX infrastructure they have, the existing connectivity they have with their order management systems, to be able to send their indication or order into the street and into the syndicate, and then to have that syndicate respond back with their allocation back as a FIX execution report. Well, so I think that there's maybe three things about the different regions that I would highlight. One is the regulatory initiatives differ among the regions, and that in turn translates into prioritization. So there are certain initiatives that are higher priorities, amongst participants in one region versus another. And then I think the other thing that I see are some of the demographics. The people that we actually are participating in different initiatives and groups can vary. So if you look at it here in EMEA, the buy-side working group tends to be heads of desks, guys that are trading. If you look at our buy-side working group in the United States, it tends to be people that are more involved in the system implementation and infrastructure. I can't explain exactly why, but those are some of the differences. Well, I think 2016 will have a lot of the same challenges as 2015. We have tightening budgets, much greater regulatory initiatives and pressures and demands that come into play, and that all translates to prioritization. So I think we have to prioritize where we focus our efforts.